How do we call that? Just, for example, configurations. And now we need every configuration which is possible one time, without this and without this. We're talking about this dependency here, ID, RAM, CPU. Because we had that here already, let's copy that, because it's just this configuration. I copy it into our new configuration sheet. So this is now for this exercise. In real life situation, you should know every configuration, every combination which is possible. Because I just copied it from the server status, maybe there are also duplicates here. So I remove the duplicates. Where is it? Here. Data, remove duplicates, no duplicates found. Okay, even better. So this is our master. We database people call it master data. So this is the master data of this. Now how to connect this master data table, which need to maintain. Maybe you have it on a SharePoint, something like that. This should be something like your treasure chest. You have here the master data with every configuration one time. And this is the thing with the inconsistency which we had. You can really delete that, because my approach is to calculate them out of this. And then you will have 100% certainty that you have never an error here. Or if here is the error, at least you have consistent error. You know what I'm talking about. Because you save so much time and so much energy if you have that calculated, and you will never have to think about that before. So again, we take our nice index formula. I copy it. And I go here into my stuff, inconsistency file. I paste it. What do I search? This time it's not the combination here about ID and month. It is really important to understand the whole thing, the whole line is about items sold. So this is the key and the rest is depending from the key, right? In that context. So ID plus month, and the result is the RAM and CPU. They depend on the ID, and the items sold depend on that. So this is the context and the meaning of this whole line. And this RAM and CPU is actually a kind of auxiliary information. It's not even necessary for the whole thing, because if you have the ID, you don't need nothing more, because the ID qualifies the whole system. This RAM and CPU don't depend on ID and month. They depend only on ID. So here, then we always go from I to O, input, output. I go into this other sheet here. And again, it's important that you go with the cursor into this I range before you switch the sheet. Now I go here. This is where I search A. Then I go with the cursor into this OO. It's just a placeholder. Again, I delete it, and then RAM. So I go from A to B. I go from server to RAM. Enter. Did it. Drag the formula down. Same thing here, but it was not from A to B. It was from A to C. So what I usually like to do, I go here and copy the whole formula. I don't copy the cell from here to here, because now everything is moving. From A to B is now B to C, which is nonsense. I copy the formula here in this editor part. Then I go here and I paste the whole formula. Usually I hit enter, so I see I really have the same thing exactly. And you remember I wasn't going from A to B, I was going from A to C now. So it's really easy for me to replace the BB by CC. And now you have a consistent thing because it's calculated out of your master data. And you can import this master data. You can actually ask a colleague to maintain this master data. And this is your lookup table for this information. And this information is automatically calculated. It's really nice. What I sometimes do so that I can decide which is the information I have to maintain and which is the automatic calculated, I give them different colors. For example, this blue. No, this is too dark. This blue. And again, so this is the information I have to maintain. And this is the information that's calculated automatically. Of course, when you export this file and you have later copy paste values, you know that because of the formula, when you export only that stuff to somebody else, but usually you export the whole file, you have everything together, and the people will like to see how you make that possible, that the consistency is always there. And now that you learned that, you learned already, I guess, 80% of what you have to know about relational databases, because that is what they call relational databases. It's always a relation. Here you have a relation from here to here, from here to here, or the whole line is a relation. They relate to each other, and how you see how they relate to each other, these three. This is the definition of the relation of them. And here you have another relation. It's these three. And this is only an auxiliary information. So this information is derived out of this. And if you have this scheme, if you have nothing double, you have every information only one time. And if you need it another time, then you derive it by formulas. So you have your information somehow spread over different tables and then put them together how you need it. That's what they call relational database. And Access and all the other databases do exactly the same. I can highly encourage you to think that way, and you will have really good data in your work.